the pattern that determines success or failure. There's a pattern quietly shaping your life. Most people never notice it, but over time it determines whether someone moves forward or slowly stays exactly where they are. The strange thing is, this pattern doesn't appear during big decisions. It appears during very small moments. Moments that seem too insignificant to matter. Like when you know you should start something but delay it. When you feel resistance and instinctively avoid the task. Or when you promise yourself you'll begin tomorrow instead of today. In those tiny moments, something important happens inside the brain. A pattern is reinforced. And over time, that pattern quietly determines success or failure. So the real question isn't simply why some people succeed. The deeper question is this: what pattern are successful people following that others unknowingly break every day? The hidden conflict. Imagine a normal moment in your day. You know there's something you should do. Maybe it's studying, working on a project, or going to the gym. But another option quietly appears. Check your phone. Scroll for a few minutes. Delay the task just a little longer. Your brain quickly calculates something in the background. Which option feels easier right now? Which one removes discomfort? And most of the time, the brain chooses the easier path. Not because you're lazy, but because the brain is designed to conserve energy. Psychologists call this cognitive ease. Your mind naturally prefers the path that feels easier in the moment. But this creates a quiet pattern. Short-term comfort slowly replaces long-term progress. And the strange part is, successful people experience this exact same conflict. They feel the same resistance, the same urge to delay. So if the struggle is the same, what creates the difference? The brain mechanism. Inside your brain, there are two systems constantly interacting. One is fast and emotional. The other is slower and more deliberate. The fast system is driven by the brain's reward circuitry. It pushes you toward immediate comfort. Avoid the difficult task. Choose what feels good right now. But another part of the brain is responsible for long-term thinking. The prefrontal cortex. This region helps you plan, control impulses, and make strategic decisions. You can imagine these two systems like passengers in the same car. The emotional brain wants comfort now. The rational brain cares about where the road leads. And every day, they compete for control of the steering wheel. Successful people don't eliminate this conflict. They simply pause long enough for the rational brain to engage. Even a small pause allows the prefrontal cortex to take control. And that tiny pause changes the decision. Not every time, but often enough to change the pattern. A simple framework. The first step is recognizing the moment of resistance. There's always a brief moment when the brain suggests avoidance. A quiet thought that says, "Do it later." If you notice that moment, awareness interrupts the automatic response. The second step is starting smaller than your brain expects. The brain resists large tasks, but it rarely resists something tiny. Instead of working for an hour, start for 5 minutes. Once you begin, momentum often takes over. Psychologists call this the activation energy effect. Starting is the hardest part. The third step is repeating the pattern consistently. Every time you act instead of avoid, you strengthen a neural pathway. And over time, that pathway becomes the brain's default behavior. What once felt difficult begins to feel normal. Closing thought. Most people believe success comes from extraordinary effort. But psychology suggests something quieter. Success is usually built from ordinary moments handled slightly differently. A small pause before avoidance. A small step forward instead of delay. A small decision repeated many times. Because over time, your life quietly becomes the pattern of choices you repeat every day. And that pattern is what ultimately determines success or failure.